Waiting for, make sure this goes right. There it is. Hi, my name is Dylan Lang. You may know me from a show I do called Dylan Knows. I'm on my 668th episode coming out tomorrow. Tomorrow is also a holiday. It's July 4th because today it is 9:18 p.m. on July 3rd, 2026. It is Independence Day Eve of our 250th anniversary of our country. Doesn't feel like it, obviously, because of what's going on in Washington, but that's not our concern right now. Our concern right now is let's talk about the holidays. For those who don't know me, my name is Dylan Lang. As I said, I have a show called Dylan Knows, which I do every Saturday. And on my 668th episode starting tomorrow, I also do a bunch of other shows. I do a list show. I do interviews with myself show where I talk about little things here and there. A while back, about 2 weeks ago, whatever, I did a show called Pilot Season on my Dylan Knows show where I picked a bunch of ideas for new shows I'm going to do, and this was one of them. So I figured, why not do it since we're at July 4th right now. Officially is tomorrow, actually, and unfortunately it's all sort of wonky, so things are going a little crazy. So I'm in kind of a weird mood right now. Let me read a second here. Real quick, we have to say a sincere congratulations to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. They are now officially married. They were married today, supposedly, at Madison Square Garden. Some people say they had a smaller, more intimate one on June 26th. Doesn't matter. All I know is that I've never been a Swiftie. And now I'm a minor one, but we're going to talk about all that tomorrow on my show. Today, we're actually talking about July 4th. I'll be talking about a little bit about that tomorrow on my show also, but I figure I was going to do this show also. I love holidays. My email address is Holiday-Dill. I had come up with an idea for a holiday store as a possible business. I have Hawaiian shirts. Sorry, bug just flew in my face. That cover all holidays. I have holiday playlists for most every holiday. Not quite everyone. My July 4th one is part of my summer one, but I do have some patriotic jammers on there. So what I figured I would do for this show, this is going to be called Holiday-Dill, and it's only going to be limited because there's only so many holidays you can do, and I'm not going to start doing episodes for like minor holidays, but I'll hit the big ones around the time they come out. Because remember, the next one that comes out after this, that's a major holiday besides Labor Day, is Halloween. So I will do a Holiday-Dill Halloween episode. After that will be Thanksgiving, Holiday-Dill Thanksgiving episode. After that, Holiday-Dill Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day potentially, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter. Those are the big ones. And maybe I'll do some other smaller ones as well, but these are the major holidays I'll be doing. So this show is very limited in scope, but I just want to do it because I love myself some holidays. I like talking about them. Plus, I was writing stuff down because it was slow at work again. So we're going to break it down a little bit. A little bit about describing about the history, my memories, how others may celebrate, which I didn't get to this time, but I will probably do it for the next few. I should have asked people before I decided I was going to do this, what they do for 4th of July. But I can make some suggestions, some movies, TVs, songs, stuff like that, bullet points about the holiday as well, stuff around there too. This is going to be a very long episode. It'll probably be about half an hour, if that. I've already talked for 5 minutes almost on this. So let's just talk about it real quick. I'm a history major, so this is pretty big for me also. This is also, the 4th of July is also an American holiday. No one else will be celebrating July 4th, just us Americans. Canada has their Canada Day, was July 1st. Mexico has their Freedom Day, which is not May 5th. It's a different one. I forget which one it is off the top of my head. And these other countries all have their own Independence Day holiday. So everybody has their own version of Independence Day. Ours just happens to fall on July 4th. And the main reason for that is because July 4th, 1776, 250 years ago tomorrow, our founding fathers decided they had enough of the tyranny of the English, and with a threat to their lives, they wrote up a Declaration of Independence from England, basically a declaration of war, despite the fact that the war had pretty much already begun about a year ahead of time with Concord and Lexington. But this was the one where they wrote it all out and said, we are our own people. We are our own country. Fuck you, England. And that pretty much kickstarted the American Revolution, which we won very luckily. The official arrival of the United States was probably not till the 1789-ish window, because after we won the war, we had to crank out the Constitution, and then every state had to approve it. Now, the Declaration of Independence was signed by 13 colonies, one of which Maryland, which is where I'm located, is. So we are officially one of the OGs. So very proud of that fact. Signed off on it in Philadelphia on July 4, 1776. And that's really what we celebrate. Once we won the war and we moved on and our country became what it is, it became our big holiday, and we do it. It's the summer holiday because, let's face facts, there's nothing in the summer. There's Memorial Day at the end of May, which isn't technically summer. There's the first day of summer, Flag Day if you want to, Father's Day, Mother's Day. That's really about it. So they needed something to get in there as well. And so July 4th was our window there. And it's not just the case. I mean, if they would have signed it August 25th, or they would have signed it June 20th, or they would have signed it December 15th, December 12th, doesn't matter. That would have been our Independence Day. But our Independence Day was signed July 4th, 1776. And it is the big holiday during the summer. And after this holiday, the summer sort of just goes into the toilet because there's nothing. Now we have, there are little bits and pieces here. We got the moon landing, Bastille Day in France, if you are a member of that, the moon landing anniversary, the midsummer. Even though they say midsummer is the first day of summer, which makes no sense to me, official midsummer is the beginning of August. Training camp for NFL football begins. Baseball has their all-star game in July, and then August, it's go back to school, and then we get into September, which is the beginning of meteorological autumn, and we have Labor Day, which is technically the end of summer. We have Memorial Day, which is the beginning, and Labor Day is the end. In that window, we just have this July 4th as a major holiday for us. And in most parts of the country, like today, it is hot as blazes since we're right in the middle of summer. And we still have a few more days of fucking heat dome. We're not going to talk about that right now. We're here to talk about July 4th. So that's basically kind of the reason why we celebrate July 4th. Most people know this already, because most Americans do anyway, because that's how we roll. So what does it really entail celebrating July 4th? What do we do? I didn't do enough research on what they used to do in the past. But we can all discuss, we know what really kind of happens. We've got parades, we've got barbecues, we've got special events, we've got sales, we've got fireworks, we've got patriotic concerts. Those are the big thing also. And a lot of it is family get-togethers, stuff like that. And that's basically really what July 4th is. It's just one sort of celebration of our independence. There's no religious aspects to it, much like Thanksgiving, which is also a America-only holiday at that time. Again, Canada has one, but that's in October. Sorry about that. So that's what you're going to get. People wear the red, white, and blue. These are the rocket pops, fireworks, Hawaiian shirt. The reason why I'm wearing this today and not tomorrow is tomorrow, since it's our 250th anniversary of our country, I bought a bunch of T-shirts for my family, and I'm going to be wearing that tomorrow to my uncle's house. We'll talk about that in a second. It's George Washington and Abraham Lincoln playing electric guitar. My son is a Godzilla fan. I got him one with Godzilla carrying an American flag, which is funny since I know Godzilla is Japanese, but that's besides the point. My wife, I have a black cat wrapped in an American flag, which is cute. And for my daughter, she loves constitutional law. I got her a shirt about the Constitution, which she's not going to wear. She told me today, not because she doesn't like it, but because it's a big event from our family. Her over-a-year boyfriend will be meeting my dad's side of the family on 4th of July tomorrow. He wants to look nice for a good first impression, so my daughter doesn't want to leave him in the lurch, so she's going to dress up nice as well. I have to applaud that. That's great. But we'll talk about that in a second. But that's what I think. You've got, red, white, and blue are the main colors, obviously. So you're going to get lots of red, white, and blue stuff. Red, white, and blue liquids, red, white, and blue, napkins and plates and hats, and you put your flag out and just celebrate the red, white, and blue. I still haven't put them out yet. I'll put them out eventually. I have red, white, and blue lights. Once things start calming down a little bit, I'll put them back out once we get back into more of a celebration of the United States after we get rid of this fascist dictator we have in our office. We're not talking about that right now. So that's how, most people will be celebrating it. There's lots of parades. There's lots of fireworks. It might be concert now because of it might be delayed or not canceled now because of the heat. There's supposed to be a concert at Oregon Ridge tonight. It might have been canceled due to the heat, which is a shame. I've been there once. We're going to talk about that in a little bit as well. Again, I wish I would have gone online and asked people how they celebrate. Most people celebrate with a barbecue. They'll get hot dogs and hamburgers, sausages, maybe some steak in there as well, chicken, and then you're going to have all kinds of accoutrements, eggs, egg salads and deviled eggs and regular salads and just corn on the cob. Just stuff like that. I cannot imagine. And a lot of it is probably going to be people watching the World Cup this year or watching baseball, which is usually on around this time also. And a lot of it is probably just going to be sitting around chit-chatting and shooting the breeze until nightfall and then shooting off illegal fireworks here in Maryland. And we're not allowed to shoot off fireworks. And actually surprised right now that I have not heard any fireworks in my neighborhood. Not too surprised because right around a few years ago, we started hearing fireworks around as early as like July 2nd in my neighborhood. We have a field over there which people can shoot, and it's wide open space, and they can shoot their illegal fireworks up there, and you can hear them from our house. And they would do it on July 4th and July 3rd and July 5th and July 2nd and July 6th, so on and so forth. But because of the heat, or it might not be dark enough yet, because literally if you look outside, it's just starting to get dark because it is, let's face it, it is summer. They're probably waiting for it to get a little dark, maybe closer to 10 o'clock. We'll have a better idea if we're going to get any fireworks tonight. But yeah, so that's the majority of how they're going to celebrate as well. Again, decorative tips, just basically you're going to get your American flag up, anything red, white, and blue. There's these little awning things that you can put on your fence. I see that everywhere. Just anything red, white, and blue related, flag related, anything American history kind of related, you can have that as well. But that's the majority of the stuff you're going to be using for decorative tips. So let's talk about some other stuff here. So let's talk about parades here first and foremost, because there's some bits and pieces that are important about that. Now, this is just where I am. And I know everybody has a different area, so I kind of wish I put this out earlier and had people tell me what they were doing. But in our area, where I am right now, I'm in a place called Reisterstown, Maryland, which is in the northwestern portion of Baltimore County, not far from Westminster, about 20 minutes away from the Pennsylvania state line. And Gettysburg is only 45 miles away. We'll get back to Gettysburg in a second here, too. So Reisterstown does not have 4th of July fireworks. They do not have a 4th of July parade. Now, today would have been our Music on Main Street every Friday through the summer. Everyone goes to the middle school on Main Street, and we hear cover bands play. There's food trucks, kettle corn, stuff like that. Due to the heat that we've had, because we're in this goddamn heat dome, that was canceled tonight. And I said there are other concerts as well. We'll get to that in a second. So Reisterstown never did a parade or fireworks. What they do is Reisterstown is still one of the only towns in the country that I know of that celebrates a festival for their town. Reisterstown has been around since the 1750s or 1770s, I should say, maybe probably closer around the time of the Declaration of Independence, because there is a building on Main Street that has a cornerstone that's dated, I believe, 1776 or 1761 or 1757, one of those two. But it's a 1700 one. We have a graveyard that has the Reisters and the Owings, which are the creators of Owings Mills in Reisterstown, buried there. We are a historical town. We have historical buildings. We are a historical Main Street. We've been around forever. And we celebrate Reisterstown the second weekend in September. We have a parade and we have fireworks on the same day. It's all on Saturday. The parade and the fireworks are on Saturday, and I think the festival goes Saturday, Sunday, where we have, food trucks and booths and stuff like that on Hannah Moore Park, which is a little bit down the road a little bit. And that's where the money goes for July 4th. So July 4th, we don't really do much. We put some flags up around certain areas, but not too much. But we do very low with that. Glendon is a town that's right near us, is a little town right near us, about 5 minutes away from us, where my Chinese restaurant is that I go to. They have a 4th of July, but they do have one. Goes through the historic neighborhood of Glendon. You can tell early on, I think around Memorial Day is when they do this. They have these massive flags that line our road leading to Reisterstown that goes through Glendon. So that's where the parade route is, and then through the neighborhoods around there. So that's a big deal for that area. Catonsville, which is a little bit further down the road, they have a massive parade every year. And I don't know if there's going to be anybody doing it today due to the heat and temperatures, but the majority of people, they will sit out overnight to make sure they get the best spot for the Catonsville 4th of July parade. And it's also one that always tends to make its way onto the news. It's always a big thing as well. But the big one I really talk about is Towson. Towson is the executive center of Baltimore County. It's where the county executive works, where the courthouse is, and it's the biggest town in the area. We've got 2 colleges in the area, one university and one college. Goucher College and Towson University are there. I grew up in Towson, actually technically outside looking in, but Towson was my area. I went to high school at Towson High School. We had the mall, the movie theaters, restaurants, bookstores. We have all kinds of stuff there, grocery stores. We had stuff. So Towson was my main destination when I was growing up. And every 4th of July, they have a massive 4th of July parade. And I used to go almost every year when I was growing up, since I lived in the area. My mom wanted to go all the time, and we went together as a family a lot of time. And then when my parents separated, we still went occasionally, not as often as we used to. And then when I got married or moved out of the house, I didn't do it as much. But there was one specific Towson parade that I had to make sure I went to. Story time. It's 2002, so 24 years ago. And I had been living with my girlfriend at the time, who turns out to be my wife. We moved in together in August of 2001 in some apartments up in Cockeysville, Hunt Valley area. And so we've been together. We've been living now at this point, July 4th, 2002, for a year, almost a year living together. We were worked together in we not worked together. We played softball in a softball league together. Her company McCormick, this McCormick Spices, they had a softball team, and we were part of it. And we had a game on July 3rd. It was either a game or she went out with her friends to end the no, I think it was either we had it. Okay, sorry. My connection, I had to wait. So either we were playing softball or she had a girls' night out. Regardless, there was alcohol involved. And I think it was softball because we were playing softball at that time. So alcohol was involved, and she overindulged, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. She was it was vacation, getting ready to take the day off. So it must have been a girls' night out or whatever. So my plan was that we were all going to go to the Towson Parade on July 4th, me, my wife, my mother, and my stepdad. And I was going to propose to my wife at the Towson Parade. We had already had discussions about getting married. She picked out her engagement ring, and I was paying it off. She knew she was going to get, we were going to get engaged sometime in 2002. She just didn't know when. Sorry. My daughter's doing something cool. We knew we wanted to get married, and I wanted to get her the right engagement ring. So we went ring shopping. She found the perfect one she wanted, and I had to, pay it off and do all the payment. So it took me a little while to pay off, but she knew she was going to get engaged sometime in the summer or in this year in 2002. She didn't know when because she didn't know how long it was taking me to pay it off. I paid it off in June, and I had two choices in front of me. One, I could surprise her by doing it on the July 4th parade because we were all planning to go to the parade together. We'd already set that plan in motion. And then two, the other one was we still had our family vacation with her family down at the Outer Banks. So it would have been down there too if we decided not to do July 4th. I figured she was going to think that we was going to do it there. So I decided to mix it up a little bit and do it at the parade. So she had proposed to, but she knew it was going to be sometime in 2002. So I finished paying it off in June, and I came up with the plan to do it on July 4th. Told my mom and stepdad about it. They were behind it. And then what we were going to do is after the parade, we were going to do what our usual July 4th event is, go to my Uncle Philip's house. We'll talk about that in a little bit also. And we would tell everybody there. So we do softball, or she has a girls' night out. She gets overly wasted. I get her home, get her into bed, and then I get up in the morning. Like, I have to get up early because the parade starts at like 9, 10 o'clock, something like that. So we have to get up early to get over to Towson. So I get up, get showered, and she's still in bed. She's like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I was like, okay, that's fine. You stay in bed. You take what time it is. I'll be back around this time. Then we'll go to Uncle Philip's. So I started thinking in my head, okay, I won't work there. I'll still go to the parade because I want to go to the parade because I like it. And then I can do it at the party at my uncle's house. We'll have more family there. My mom won't be there, but the rest of my family will be there. So I figured we'd do it there. So I was like depressed, like, okay. So I grabbed the ring just in case and have it on my person just so for whatever reason I decided to grab it just in case. She said, I might make it. I might get up and make it. I'll let you know. I was like, okay. So I drive to Towson. I go find where Mom and Roger are and tell them, I don't know if she's going to come. And then surprise, she comes walking towards us. She felt guilty about leaving me high and dry because she got wasted last night. So she made it. And so everything was perfect. So we were watching the parade. I had the ring in my pocket. And there was an Irish band that just played. And as it marched around, she was watching it. I went down on the ground on one knee, and she turned and looked down at me. And she goes, I hate you. And I go, would you marry me? And she said, yes. And so I gave her the ring. We kissed. My mom was able to get pictures. We got engaged. And then there was a guy standing next to us, just strangers, said, I bet you'll go to every parade he asks you to from now on, won't he? Which is a great line. So now we were engaged. So now we were going to go tell the rest of my family. So we go to my Uncle Philip's house. My grandmother was still alive at the time. I think my sister might have been there, and brother-in-law, and maybe not though, because they had at that point a 7-month-old, so they might decide they were just going to stay home. So they might not have been there for 4th of July that year. But we were going to have my grandmother, my cousins, my aunts and uncles, my dad, and well, she wasn't my stepmom yet, but was my mom. It was my dad's girlfriend, who became his wife, and Pepper. I was like, what are you doing? Oh, fireworks. Yay. That's what freaked him out. I heard this thump noise. Yay, fireworks. Yes. So I'm actually going to text that right now. So they are doing it. So they decided to wait a little bit. So awesome. I don't know if you can hear it, so I'm going to stay quiet for a little longer, see if you can hear the booms. All right. I was hearing that noise. I was like, what the hell is that? And then I heard my cat comes running downstairs. He's hiding because he's scared. So we go, and I want to wait for the right time to do this. So what we do, we play badminton, so everybody's outside playing. We'll talk about that a little bit, and then everybody's out and about, and we're saying, "Hi, how's it going? Good to see you," stuff like that. And my wife still has the ring available, and you think people aren't going to notice it. You hope people aren't going to notice it, but no, not my family. My Aunt Mary Beth, who's married to my Uncle Philip, whose house we were having that, she was the first one. She goes, "Oh!" And then my stepmom, soon-to-be stepmom, was like, "Oh my God!" We're like, "You cannot tell anybody. We're going to do a big announcement, whatever." And they're like, "Oh, okay." And then we go to see my grandma, who's holding court inside where it's cooler. And immediately she says, "You got engaged? When were you going to tell me?" I was like, "Grandma, we just literally got engaged. We were going to make a big thing about it." But then everybody in the area heard that, so we had to make the announcement at that time. My grandmother, she's the same one that said after I got married that Christmas, we got married in October, the Christmas afterward in 2003, she saw me and goes, "Damn, Dylan, you got fat." And I was like, "What the hell, Grandma?" I was like, "I didn't mean that in that way. I meant that Tom must be feeding you well." "Sure, Grandma, sure." So my grandma kind of ruined that, but that was fine. So that was about that. But the parade itself, the Towson Parade, was great. It spans a long stretch of Towson. I mean, it goes up by the university. It goes down through Towson, down the side. It doesn't go down the main York Road part of it. It's still kind of blocked off at certain points. You have to go around it. But it's just tons of people. It goes through the bypass and around. And it's a long-ass parade. And there's a lot of cool floats and marching bands and stuff like that. So it was kind of cool, and has always been kind of cool. But I haven't been back to the Towson Parade in years because I don't feel like it, July 4th is usually my only day off I've had in a while, and I want to sleep in and then go to my Uncle Philip's house, which is how I celebrate the 4th of July. I've been doing this for as long as I can remember. Before my Uncle Philip's house, we were doing it at my grandmother's house when she was still alive and still capable. We went from Woodlawn, where her house was, to another house in Woodlawn, and then we went to my Uncle Philip's house when she moved to a small apartment and couldn't have everybody over her place. Badminton has always been a big part of our family tradition, 4th of July at my Uncle Philip's house. Don't know why, but we've been playing it since the 80s. And the way it used to work was my dad and my uncles would play each other, and us youngins would watch them. And then once they were done, they had precedence over the badminton court. So then they were done. The women folk wanted to play. They could as well. And then the kids would be allowed to play. So it took us a while. but we got to play some when we were younger. But we did other stuff, which I'll talk about in a second too, to bide our time. And then as the old folks started getting older and couldn't do it as much, and the younger ones were growing up, we started taking over. Me and my cousin John, we would do a one-on-one every 4th of July, but then we'd also do doubles because it's more fun with doubles with whatever family members want to join us. And we did it multiple times, and it was great. The only times it wasn't great was when it was extraordinarily hot and humid, which we had a few times, or when it was raining. There were a few times that we even went out in the rain, though, and played, particularly me and John, because we had to keep this annual tradition up. My cousin John died of COVID in 2020, so it's been 6 years now. Not quite yet. He died in August of 2020. So the last 4th of July I saw with him was July 4th, 2020. No, we didn't even have a July 4th, 2020 because of COVID. Everybody wanted to keep their distance, so we didn't do a July 4th. I didn't even see him then. So our last one-on-one might have been 2019. But it was always fun. Badminton was always the prevalent sport, but we had horseshoes every once in a while. Our family went through a bocce ball phase at one point for a little while. That was fun too. And so that was kind of fun. But that's the main sort of draw. We do that. My uncle's house, he has a screened-in porch and a deck. So a lot of people sit on the screened-in porch, just sit around a table and just chit-chat, because that's what we do. We just chit-chat. And then my uncle will go out and he does the grilling. He grills the hamburgers, hot dogs, and the sausages. Everybody brings something. Like tomorrow, my daughter's bringing crab dip. I'm bringing a 2-liter bottle of iced tea. Apparently, I can't cook. My daughter's boyfriend, because his first time must make a good impression, he's bringing a chocolate flan. And then other people will bring salads and desserts and other stuff as well. So, and other hors d'oeuvres. So there'll be and that'll just be it. We'll just be, and then the rest of us who aren't playing badminton around the screen and porch will be inside their family room, around the TV, probably watching baseball or the World Cup, probably, since we're in the middle of the World Cup right now, or just anything that's on TV. So we'll have that on. And just, again, it's just all a bunch of chit chat and stuff like that. So that's all it is. It's just everyone hanging out and doing chit chatting and stuff like that. And then we eat, we chit chat some more. We used to do sparklers because you can do those in Maryland, but for some reason I was not a fan of sparklers. I think when I was really young, I think I got burned, maybe not severely, but burned enough that it scared the living shit out of me. And even as a grown-up, I hated when they pulled out the sparklers. I would keep my distance. It was a fear I don't need, because I shouldn't be scared of sparklers, since I've gone through worse pain than sparks landing on my skin. But for whatever reason, that's a mental block. I can't get over that. So we pulled those out. My uncle Frank is a huge fireworks guy. He won't be there. He lives in South Carolina. But when he lived closer, he used to cross the border to Pennsylvania, or he would be down in North Carolina for visiting or whatever. And he would get fireworks because he loved himself fireworks. He loved himself some fireworks. He would get we would shoot off illegal fireworks sometimes in my uncle's area. I think the last time we did it, it scared my kids who were really, really young. So we didn't really do it all that much because he didn't really buy as much fireworks. And then he didn't really start showing up as much because he moved to South Carolina. It makes sense. So he lost his wife to cancer. And we still see my cousin, my cousin Kelly, who is his daughter, and her husband and their family. They always come up. So we see them every 4th of July. So it's nice to have sort of every member of the family sort of there, except for my Aunt Kathy's side of the family. They live in Georgia, and then the rest of the family is scattered all across the United States. So it's very rare them show up. But that's okay. We have enough people. And then my sister and brother-in-law show up periodically with my nephews. So I know my sister and brother-in-law will be here tomorrow for 4th of July, if you're watching it then. So that'll be fun to see that. But that's really our 4th of July. You know what? I'm cool with that. I get up in the morning. I take my time getting up. I eat my donuts. I drink my coffee. I look at my phone, play some Fortnite. The party doesn't start till 2 o'clock. We get out, we go, we have a nice, comfortable time. We leave about 7, sometimes 6, between 6 and 7. Yeah, 6, 7. And then we just chill out at home. And then most times we have to go to work the next day. Not today, not this weekend. Woohoo! It's 3-day weekend. It's Friday today. Tomorrow's Saturday. We got one more day after 4th of July to relax before we're back to work. So that'll be good. Now, when we were younger, what we used to do is Raiders of the Lost Ark and Indiana Jones was always a big thing with us. So my sister is the oldest grandchild. I was second oldest. And then that's when it sort of opens up a little bit. The next oldest was my cousin John, and then his sister Jenny. And then we have my cousin Paul and my cousin Kate, who I don't see. And then I have my cousin Elizabeth and my cousin Kelly. And then my cousin Alex. And I think that's about it for the cousins. I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, Greg. I miss Greg because he's in New Hampshire. He won't be down either for that. But yeah, he's in there also. So I was always the second oldest grandchild. There's like a 2 or 3 year difference between me and my cousin John. Maybe even more than that. I think it's like 3 or 4 years, maybe. And there's only like a 3 or 4 year difference between me and my sister. So my sister was always the top of the heap. She was, this is all my dad's side. And so when we were little, my sister would hang out with the grown-ups because she thought that was cool. Being the oldest grandchild, that was the thing she did. But me and my cousins, John, Jenny, and Paul, we would play Indiana Jones. And that was I was Indiana Jones. My cousin John was was Salah. My cousin Jenny was Marion, and my cousin Paul was Short Round, but he was also the bad guy. So we had to either knock Short Round out so that he could play the bad guy, and then we'd do like adventures, and we just use our creativity depending on where we were, my grandmother's house, my uncle's house, stuff like that. Actually, we didn't do it at my uncle's house all as much as at my grandmother's houses. When we were at both of their houses, we did that. We did a massive crossover called Firework Gremlins, where he fought the Gremlins, Indiana Jones, and everyone fought the Gremlins. My grandmother's basement was our airplane, and we always crashed. That was something I remember else. I don't know why. Memories, But that's what we did 4th of July. Not too exciting, but let's face facts. What else are you going to do? You can go to fireworks. My sister-in-law and her family, they go do fireworks out in the Ellicott City area, Columbia area. They do that. That's cool. But there's only so many times you can see fireworks. Like my brother-in-law was like, I'm never going to do it this year, even before we found out about the heat dome, because everyone's older now. And they're like, okay. And the fireworks have stopped over here now. There's just a small little burst of it, but still was kind of cool. So, yeah, I think that's about it. Some bullet points real quick. The hot dog eating contest is always a big thing also. I've never seen the interest in it. And then the guy who always wins anyway, so it isn't even that big of a fucking deal. But it's an event. It's what you do on July 4th. You do that. We have our 250th birthday tomorrow. As I said, it doesn't feel like it because of how shitty our government is right now, but I will flash back to 1976 when I was 3 years old. Now, I don't remember much about it. All I remember about it is what I see in photographs. My mom went all out. This is when my family's still together, and we had moved to the house that my mom still lives in 3 years prior. So we'd only been in that house for about 3 years. So she made a quilt. She made a quilt for a quilt making contest that was done by the Daughters of the American Revolution or something like that. She came in second, which was cool. She put up a poster on the side of her house that said Happy Birthday, America. And then my dad is obsessed with the tall ships, so we went to see the tall ships also. There is a place called the Rotunda, which is in Baltimore City. Yeah, it's right near Roland Park. And it's a movie theater and a shopping center and has a grocery store. And I'm not quite exactly sure what else it is now. But in the old days, they had a massive, massive parking lot because it had all this stuff in it. So you need to have lots of room for people who are coming to do their shopping and stuff like that, which overlooked Baltimore City. It was like right there. It's like, boom, right there. So you would go to the Rotunda parking lot. And we weren't the only ones. There was a bunch of people. We went to the Rotunda parking lot, parked, and just stood there, and we could see the fireworks from downtown Baltimore City. Never been there officially for the 4th of July fireworks in Baltimore City. Did go to New Year's Eve one year, but that's story for our New Year's Eve episode of Holiday-Dill. It gets a little spicy, but we're not going to get into that right now either. Anywho, that was kind of cool also. We go to the Rotunda, and we could see the fireworks from there. Something else we discovered is that the house we live in now, this beautiful house we've been in, actually today, holy shit, I forgot to post that. I got to do that tonight. After I do the show, we moved into this house 22 years ago today. Sorry, house. Happy birthday. I will wish you a happy birthday. I will put you on there and we'll do that. Thank you, house. It got a little bit of a facelift for his 22nd birthday, which was nice this week. So that's cool. So we moved to this house, and the kids' rooms face out on the end of 795. Actually, it's over there. Actually, they face out that way. That's the front of the house. This is the back of the house. So 795 is over there. And Westminster is up the road about 20 some miles, 20 minutes, whatever. They have fireworks at like a farm museum up there. Not quite Westminster. Yeah, it's kind of technically in Westminster. From my daughter's room, you can see some of the higher fireworks as they shoot them up over the farm museum. So you can see that from our house too. Oregon Ridge, who has their as I said, their concert tonight, unless it got canceled due to the heat, they do fireworks around 10 o'clock. You might be able to hear them. They're far away. They're closer to my uncle's house, so my uncle will probably be able to hear them better. But it's in Hunt Valley, and you can still hear the distant boom, 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 boom from the fireworks from that, because sound travels pretty decently. So that's pretty cool. Gettysburg, as I said, is 45 minutes away from here. And if you know your history, Gettysburg was one of the bloodiest battles in the Civil War. It also so happened to fall on July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So this is the last day of the Gettysburg battle. Thousands, 100,000s of people died in the battle, and they just sort of just left them there. Gettysburg is one of the most haunted places, and the two ghost hunter shows I used to watch in the early 2000s, you know, a lot of time they just get sounds and people's voices, and they hear weird sounds, and maybe they might get a couple good heat signatures. Both of them, separate investigations, got really good ghost evidence from Gettysburg. So you got to believe there's something going on up there. So the Gettysburg battles really anniversaries was this week as well. Today was the last day of it. For the first time, I believe ever, Pokemon Go has their community day on July 4th. Now it's going to be right at the time during my 4th of July party at my uncle's house, and he's far away from anything. We might get a couple Pokemon, but we'll probably wait till December to get Sobble, but that's pretty cool for those who want to do that as well. A former co-worker when I used to work at the radio station, Miss Marianne Perry, her birthday is on July 4th. I don't know if many people had their birthday on July 4th. A neat little idea, neat little thing. When they signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776, the signers of the Declaration of Independence had no idea there was such a thing as dinosaurs. That'll blow your fucking mind, because no one had discovered any of the bones up to that point yet. So no one at the the Independence Hall who signed the Declaration of Independence had any fucking clue that there were dinosaurs at one time. They would have said, what the fuck's a dinosaur? Put that in your pipe and smoke it. The last bit here real quick. We will do some pop culture stuff about 4th of July, and then I will rank the holiday out of 10. So pop culture is my thing. I love movies. I love music, TV shows, stuff like that. But mostly movies, books, stuff like that. Um, Fourth of July doesn't really have a lot of books per se, just history books you want to read about history, about our founding fathers, the creation of the Declaration of Independence. You can do that as well. I think Marvel, for the 250th anniversary, released a comic where the Marvel superheroes went back in time and saw the signing of the Declaration of Independence. I don't know, go figure. But there are a bunch of good movies that you should watch during this time frame. The biggest one is celebrating its 30th anniversary today, Independence Day. It came out in 1996, July 3rd, 1996. Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum, Bill Pullman, Judd Hirsch, Randy Quaid, just a whole bunch of different stuff. About an alien invasion on July 2nd, and it was a 3-day invasion. The July 2nd, they came. July 3rd, they destroyed. July 4th, they got beaten. Bill Pullman's president of the United States has one of the most iconic July 4th Independence Day speeches you'll ever see. People will be posting it tomorrow, along with the classic photo of classic America of a family watching fireworks, and one of the fireworks goes astray, lights up all the rest of their fireworks, and they all blow up at one point, which is fucking hilarious. 1776, a musical based on the signing of the Declaration of Independence following Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin, and Thomas Jefferson, singing about the independence, and it was a musical about the creation of the Declaration of Independence. So obviously another big one you're going to want to watch for this time. Also it is a surprisingly sexy, or it's not sexy, but it's surprisingly innuendo laden movie musical, and it also has one of the weirdest songs ever. John Cullum, who played Holling Van Core, did this role on Broadway and also did it in the movies. He plays, I believe, the delegate from South Carolina, who sings a song about how great slavery is, and it's done to this really creepy Caribbean beat, and it's absolutely disturbing, but it just goes to show you how good John Cullum, a singer, he was, and it's phenomenal. We know, speaking of musicals, you know what else is another good one? Hamilton. Of course, Hamilton. I saw Hamilton for the first time July 4th, 2020, because Disney Plus aired it, a version that was recorded on Broadway. I had never seen it or really heard the music. I heard the music a few times. I enjoyed it immensely. That's another one you could watch during this time as well. A 1776 Hamilton back-to-back double feature is pretty decent idea as well. Jaws. The reason why you want to watch Jaws is because it takes place during the July 4th holiday season. So another film, if you want to watch it when it takes place, there you go. July 4th. Jaws is another good one for that. National Treasure is another good one that doesn't take place on July 4th, but it is basically a romp, an action romp through American history, including stops in Independence Hall in Philadelphia, the Liberty Bell, New York City, stuff like that. It's in Washington, D.C. It's a very historic film with Nicolas Cage, and you know what it is. And then the sequel wasn't quite as good, didn't quite have the same balance as the first one, but the first one is fantastic. So that's another good one you might want to check out during this time. Along those same lines, Dave is another good one. Kevin Kline, Sigourney Weaver, Frank Langella, Kevin Dunn. Kevin Kline's fantastic in this movie, doing double roles, playing a sleazy president who has a stroke while fucking his secretary, and so cheating on his wife, played by Sigourney Weaver, who's the first lady. And then Kevin Kline also plays Dave, who is a guy who tries to find people jobs, one of the nicest, sweetest guys you've ever met, who looks surprisingly a lot like the president. And they used him earlier in the evening as a doppelganger for the president, so he can stay in the hotel and fuck his secretary, and he and the rest of the world sees him walk out and know that he's going off to the White House. But they decide to grab him. The evil Secretary of State, played by Frank Langella, who wants to take over the presidency, decides what they'll do is they'll use Dave to pass some stuff, And then when he has another stroke, they'll bring dirt on the actual vice president, played by Ben Kingsley. They'll fire the vice president. He'll put Frank Langella in as vice president. Then he'll have another surprising medical emergency. Dave gets swept away, never talk about it again. Frank Langella becomes president. It's a perfect setup, but he didn't mean to. He runs into a buzzsaw when it comes to Dave about how popular and nice he is. Fun little way, talk about how the bad politicians get their comeuppance in the end with tons of cameos from celebrities and politicians is fantastic. Forrest Gump is another good one to check out. A journey through America. Two sides of it. The good Forrest Gump is mentally not retarded. I hate to use that word, but he has special needs. He's not very smart, but he finds himself, and he's one of the sweetest, nicest guys in the world, finds himself in the middle of American history entirely. Goes to college, graduates, plays for Alabama as a kick returner and a running back. Was there when they integrated Alabama schools, fought in Vietnam, got an award, met John F. Kennedy, met Richard Nixon, met Lyndon Johnson, met Elvis Presley, met John Lennon and Dick Cavett, went to a rally at the Reflecting Pole in D.C., anti-Vietnam thing. So he stumbles his way through history while pining for the love of his life. Jesus. I forget her character's name. Jenny, who is suffering through the bad, drug addiction, sexual abuse, regular physical abuse, mental instability sort of stuff. It's a great Robert Zemeckis film. Tom Hanks, Robin Wright Penn, it was Robin Wright now, Sally Field, McKelty Williamson, Gary Sinise. Really good Americana movie. Big Fish. I love Big Fish. I love talking about Big Fish all the time. It's my favorite Tim Burton film. But it too also has sort of a look at folk stories about America, the folk history side of America, and is another sort of good one to look at folk tales and stuff like that in America. It's a good little addition to all that as well. There's probably a few other ones that I'm missing. Next time I should take better copious notes, but 4th of July really doesn't have a lot going for it when it comes to a holiday, but it's fun. It's a good family gathering thing. It's a good break in the middle of summer. And from this point on, it's nothing but summer till we get to Labor Day, which is in September, which is 2 months away. So we got a long way to go now. And as long as this heat dome is the only major heat wave we have this summer, should be okay, but I have no vacation plans. There's some good movies coming up, but I have no vacation plans, and so it's just going to be regular bullshit. Now, my wife has gone all crazy. She's going on a girls' trip with my daughter and her sister and my wife's sisters and her mother end of July, and then a week later, she's going to Maine for a week. So she's got a lot of stuff coming up. My daughter's working with me right now. She's going to stop working mid-August. She goes back to school. Her first day of school is like the 24th of August, and my son's first day is August 31st. So we got a little ways to go, and we still have most of the summer left. So we'll see how things go. But right now it is July 3rd, 2026. It is Independence Day Eve. Songs, obviously, you want to do the patriotic songs as well. There's probably some other songs in there as well you could fit into. Born on the Bayou has a mention of 4th of July. The one that Chicago does, everybody's talking about now because 4th of July is on a Saturday. Saturday in the Park, thought it was the 4th of July. This is the only time you'll be able to play it till 2037, which is the next time 4th of July is on a Saturday. So kind of interesting about that as well. So there's a couple of songs about that, but it's mostly the Patriotic the Star Strips Forever, Oh, The Sandlot's another good movie for July 4th, about a bunch of friends who play baseball on the Sandlot during their summer. There's a July 4th is the only time that they play at night because the fireworks light up the sky. And one of the coolest scenes ever with Ray Charles's version of America the Beautiful. So a great sequence there as well. There's probably a few other ones that I'm missing, but those are the big ones you want to probably hit sometime down the line. Lincoln's another good one, talking about the Lincoln trying to get the 14th Amendment passed. That's a pretty decent Steven Spielberg film. And you could make a case, I suppose, for Mel Gibson's The Patriot, which takes place during the American Revolution with Heath Ledger's in it as well. Jason Isaacs too. But it just seemed like an American version of Braveheart. So it wasn't a big deal for me. So that's a few more of the type of movies you'll be able to see during that time as well. As I said, TV shows tend not to really do July 4th stuff. The most recent season of The Pitt did a whole season based on July 4th, so that's kind of a thing. But there's really not a lot, because in the old days, TV shows used to not work during the summer. They showed reruns, so there's never was really any TV shows that did 4th of July episodes, because it was always, September to May. So you would have all your typical holidays: Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, all that stuff, but never really any 4th of July, because there was no TV shows really for that. Books, as I said, we talk about any historical books you can find as well. So we've got lots of things as well. So I think that's about all I got. Probably missing a few things. I probably should have written my stuff up, but I just wanted to get this out and do this. So this is my first Holiday-Dill episode, so I hope you enjoyed it. The next one will probably not be until Halloween. So we'll hit the Holiday-Dill Halloween episode coming October, or sometime in October. Probably before Halloween. I want to try to get it done before the actual holiday. Halloween's on a Saturday this year too, so that's a bonus too. So I get to do my show on Halloween also, which I haven't done in a long time either. So that's really good too. All right. I believe that is it. I am just about to hit the 1 hour mark, so I think that's good enough. So here we are. How I end the show, Holiday-Dill, the first episode of Holiday-Dill, talking 4th of July. The ranking of the holidays from 1 to 10. My ranking for 4th of July is an 8, only due to the fact that you don't really do much. It's the buildup for 4th of July really isn't as intense or as exciting as it is for Christmas and Halloween, stuff like that. There are some neat stuff prepping you for the 4th of July, but never anything really like so definitive as it is for Halloween, Christmas. There's so many Halloween, Christmas pop culture things. 4th of July, again, is an American holiday only, so it's very limited in that scope. And it's just basically a chance for you to get together with your family, eat, shoot off fireworks if you do that, talk, go to parades, play some badminton, baseball, bocce ball, horseshoes, go swimming in the swimming pool. Some people do that as well. They have, dance parties, ice cream socials, fireworks, fishing, stuff like that. So anything along those lines. I just thought about that. Doc Hollywood, you can maybe make a case for 4th of July, even though it's not 4th of July. It's the festival for the South Carolina stuff. And then I think no, the Hill Valley thing was something else. Back to the Future 3. So that's it. So 8 out of 10, not bad, as I said. Nothing hugely spectacular. Decorations are basically just flags, which that's another story I want to tell you real quick. I remember one year when I was living at my mom's house, woke up on July 4th, went outside, and there were little small flags on everybody's front yard in our neighborhood. Someone from a real estate company went down on this night, July 3rd, and just planted these flags on everybody's property. And that was really kind of cool. And I don't see that anymore, and that's a shame. Maybe one day I should do that. You can go on Amazon and buy a bag of American flags and do that. Maybe someday I'll do that for us. Maybe next year, once hopefully our country gets into a better shape than it is now. It should have been a bigger celebration this year for the 250th anniversary with the World Cup as well. but the shit going on in the government right now is just enough to just suck the life out of you. But July 4th is still a fun time. Have a barbecue, enjoy yourself. If you don't want to celebrate the 4th of July because of what's going on in the government, it's fine, but go out and enjoy yourself. Have fun. Do something fun. You don't have to celebrate the 4th of July, but just go out, hang out with family, barbecue, go swimming, watch baseball, World Cup, watch fireworks, go to a parade. I don't care. Just do something fun. It doesn't have to be because it's 4th of July, just because it's something fun to do. Thanks for watching. Tomorrow I will have my Dylan Knows show, episode 668. We'll talk more about the Travis and Taylor wedding. We'll talk more about my 4th of July memories. I actually have them written down, and a few things as well. So I'll repeat myself a little bit. All right, guys. Happy 4th of July. Don't blow your fingers off. Enjoy. Have a hot dog on me.